Can you guys, I can't hear you. Hold on. Fixing to stop. Live stream. Next. Oh, I can't. Yeah, we got Liz on, Nick on.
What is it? What is it? No, we can't do that right now.
Oh, we got baby Luna on. How are you guys doing today?
Good, Michelle. How about you?
Good, hot. So we're waiting on a few more people. We got Nick on. Nick's on.
Hi, Nick.
On. How are you guys doing today? Pretty good.
Michelle, how about you?
Good, hot. So we're waiting on a few more people. We got Nick on. Nick's on.
Hi, Nick.
How are you guys doing today?
Hey, what's up? Sorry, Michelle, I didn't get to answer your question.
So we're waiting on a few more people. We got Nick on. Nick's on. I don't know why it's doing this background.
There's a delay, so probably somebody's got the audio and is re-picking up on the mic. Oh God, remember all these problems on Kdhr? They even happen on Zoom.
Let's see. Let me see something. I'm gonna try something else. Hold on, guys. Be with me just a second.
I'll be right back.
So how have you been, Liz?
I'm good. I've been, keeping busy with the little one, and working still my 40 hours and the DJing, the DJ line, mixes,
Raytheon over there?
Yes. Hey, don't touch that. Yeah, I'm still at Raytheon in Fullerton, but I'm working from home now.
How's that for you? Do you like it?
Oh, yeah. It's much better, to be honest, because I don't have to deal with traffic and, jerks on the freeway.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't have to get up as early as I, normally would. Usually I get up at like 5. Gotta leave by 6.
Yeah.
And, hurry to rush home to get her and pick her up. Hey, no, don't you dare. Sorry. Don't put that in your mouth. Yeah, so all around it's much better. I feel like, And
yeah.
if you could work from home, I mean, why not,
Yep. Jeremiah just stopped in. Jeremiah.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Oh. How you guys
doing? How you guys doing?
Jeremiah.
Hey, how you doing, Liz?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What you say?
Steven said he can't make it this time. He's busy, and DJ Joyful is kind of busy. So Tony said he's going to stop by, and a couple other people. Miss Jackie's going to stop by maybe later. DJ Vera's going to probably stop by. So, we just wanted to do something. We've been planning this for a while, and nobody, we just have a schedule kind of like everywhere.
Yeah. I understand, especially during coronavirus. And people are trying to struggle to make money and try to live, and life happens.
Yep.
So I totally understand. But how is
Nick's
everyone?
on right now. Nick's on right
Cheers.
now. So. You know me, I'm just doing the radio show. I got like a lot of guests coming up in September, so it's gonna be a little crazy. So
Did you move up north, away from LA?
I live up in Oxnard now, so about 2 hours away.
Yeah, Oxnard is
Where are
beautiful.
you, Michelle?
Oxnard.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oxnard is really beautiful. I just drove by there about a couple days ago. I just went on an epic trip, as everyone sees, like social media. Like I posted all this stuff, but my trip was amazing. I went to Olympic National Park in Washington.
Nice.
It was nice.
It's nice up here. The weather's nice, but it's also humid, and
Yeah.
we're by the fires. So
Yeah.
we just had a fire recently, about a couple days ago up here in Ventura. So
It's terrible. It's really sad. I drove through the fires when I was coming down south from Northern California. Like I was gonna go to Big Sur, but I couldn't even go to Big Sur because I had to close my window from San Francisco, like San Jose to like St. Luis Obispo. It was
yeah,
all fires. And then when I was in Northern California, leaving the Redwoods near Eureka, all the way to almost San Francisco, there's fires. So like it's really bad. Like I couldn't see anything. It was like really bad on the 101 and the 5 when I was driving up north.
it is bad. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's kind of crazy, and I've been having a lot of sinus issues lately. So I don't know if you guys have been following my posts, but I just recently had surgery, and then I'm gonna be probably going to have another surgery in maybe about a few months. Not sure yet on what the surgery is gonna be. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh no.
Where do you have your radio show?
I don't
No.
actually hear. I do it podcasting at home.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yes. So I do Zoom, and I convert it into an MP3 format, so that way the listeners could actually listen to it, and it'll be easier. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. But so I wanted to ask, like, what are you guys doing for other than like your radio show stuff during coronavirus? Are you like expanding what you do, like what you like? Because now that we have so much more time, can you focus on like, oh, this is what I like now that I don't have to? I mean, we all work, but like maybe there's more time to focus on yourself and see what you want to do after coronavirus, because a lot of people, they lost their jobs or on furlough. Like, is there something that you guys are all doing that like you have now time to do?
Well, I've actually gotten into the State Disability Council, so I've been working more advocacy for the state disability. They constantly have me doing little projects and videos for them. So I just did a video for this upcoming election for them. I'm gonna
That's
do
good.
another one with them. So it's on the go. A lot of new policies that I'm learning that I didn't learn before. So
Yeah, politics
it's
is really important. Like, especially if you want to be a lobby for certain things or be an advocate for certain things. That I worked in the government for 6 years. I just left in January. I was working for the judiciary for the federal government. I don't know if you guys knew who I was working for, but a lot of people don't know all the programs or things you can do to advocate for certain causes like disability, or if you have
yep,
like asthma or any kind of medical stuff, or for stuff for environment like Sierra Club or whatever. So I think that's really cool that you're trying to advocate not just for yourself, but for others who have disabilities and who are going issues. Because the government right now, the government we have is not really good. I mean, I'm a progressive person. Anyone can see my posts. I'm a Democrat. I'm a progressive type person. I
yep,
want healthcare because healthcare is so expensive for everybody. It's kind of insane. No one can afford healthcare, and like we all need it. Plus
yep,
dental. I think. I
yep.
mean, it's insane. I'm
Tony
lucky
just
coming
got
today. What you say?
Tony's on.
Oh,
So
hey,
he's actually working at Costco's right now. So he figured he'd
Oh,
stop.
Yeah, yeah.
hey,
I'm out here.
oh, go ahead, Tony.
I'm
Sorry.
out here doing baskets right there.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
So yeah, I'm out here doing baskets. I'm actually on the low right now. I want to check out, see how everybody doing right quick.
That's
It
awesome.
was
How you
actually Tony's idea
Hi,
to have this.
Tony.
Hey, what's going on?
doing well. I'm glad you're joining the feed, man. I see your posts about when you're doing stuff. I think it's Hawthorne TV or something. Am I wrong?
Yeah, yeah, I do that too. This is just my day job right now. I need the bill, money for the bills and the benefits.
Hey, no, there's no shame in anything, man. Like, this is unprecedented times.
Yeah.
Like, this never happened before,
Nope.
you know,
Hey,
ever.
Liz. So I'm adding everybody on Facebook. Tony and Michelle, you're already on my Facebook page. But I noticed on your Facebook page you have a proclamation from the city of Chicago that house music started in Chicago.
Yes, I posted that recently. I
You know,
posted that maybe 5 years ago, 5, 6 years
well,
ago recently.
okay. Well, obviously, I cyber stalk everybody. I mean, on Zoom, on Facebook.
Okay.
But you know what else is interesting about that is the music I like and the music which I used to play in Kdhr, which was industrial. A lot of the bands I played also originated from like Chicago because Chicago had this great just electronic music scene and a really great underground industrial scene, which has sort of gotten forgotten now.
Yeah,
So I found that interesting that you had that up there.
Oh
I actually
yeah,
had
for
a
sure.
conversation about that. You know that, Liz? Yesterday, my friend, she's a DJ, my friend Shelby, and we were talking about how house music started in Chicago by like black trans people, and uh, like it was way different now than what it is today. Like house music was like a movement in Chicago.
Yeah, and then it like branched off into like they're all
Everything.
using the same instruments but just playing them in a different way. Which,
Yeah,
if you actually even go back, it really a lot of that comes from Detroit for the dumbest reason. Roland, as you know, came out with like TB303, which was meant to simulate like a live bass guitar.
yeah.
Totally failed at that, just crap. And so a lot of these machines ended up in pawn shops. And I guess there was some riot in Detroit, like in the early 80s. And so a lot of these got stolen. And then that turned into, and they found like weird ways to make it, which now it's a staple in all electronic music, the classic TB303 sound.
That's interesting. I
Yeah, and
never.
then it sort of migrated to Chicago and all these big cities because it was a cheap instrument at the time. Nobody wanted it, and a lot of them got stolen. Um, Now to find a TB303 like an original is like $10,000 or something. Well, maybe not that
That's
much, but
that's crazy. I didn't know
yeah.
that. That's cool history, music history. Thank you. You're like, that's on
Yeah.
my show. No, it's okay.
So are you still doing your show, Jeremiah at KDHR?
Yeah, I'm trying to start my own business, and
Nice.
coronavirus, and I got sick. I got coronavirus in May. All
Oh
of
wow.
May and June, it was like yeah, I didn't tell people, but I got like the sickest
No
I've ever
way.
been. Huh?
No, I said no way. When was this again?
Early May. I went to Jamaica for my birthday in February. March shut down, and then I like quarantined myself so I wouldn't get coronavirus in my house. And like I bought everything online, Instacart, and then I started feeling my throat started hurting really bad, and then the next day I had to drip, and my breathing got really bad, and then for like a month, from the middle of May the first week of, actually no, the whole month of May, because it was like the end of April 30th or something, all the way to the first week of June. I was in my bed. I was sick. Like
Oh,
I had headaches, muscle spasms, temperature, 101, 2 every day.
do you think maybe you got the disease which shall not be named?
Oh, I got tested. I went to the VA hospital in West LA, and
Hmm.
I drove up and I did the swab, and I got the test in like I think 2 days. Usually, if you're positive, you get a test really quick within like
Yeah.
3 days. and I was positive. So then they, City of LA sends you a letter saying you should quarantine. It's almost like contract tracing.
Yep.
But then my girlfriend's a nurse, so she got it like 2 or 3 days after I did.
Oh.
So we both had to stay in my house, and it was like I felt like I was dying. I couldn't breathe and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't like the phlegm in my chest was. Some capsules in the market. My chest, like it felt like there was a pressure on my chest.
Yeah.
I mean, every symptom you can think of, I had it, and I tried to I drank so much water. I was fatigued. If I would just walk somewhere like 5 steps, I couldn't breathe. And then just I got lucky that I'm healthy enough, or whatever, the disease didn't like kill me. But by June,
Jeremiah,
yeah,
did you take any vitamins, like anything like?
I took vitamins every day. I take multivitamin. I can't take vitamin C, but I was taking vitamin D. I was taking fish, what do you call it, flaxseed oil, all these different herbal. Because my girl, she's big into health stuff, so we had every single health thing you can buy pill, and I was taking I don't know, 10 pills a day, 20 pills a day.
Wow.
Drinking smoothies, like healthy smoothies, soup, hot tea every second. I had a pot of tea on like nonstop for a month, and then the thing is, after June 6th, when I got I got 2 negative tests back, and you don't feel yourself. I didn't feel myself to maybe the end of June. And even like I work out, I run. I mean, people see my pictures and think that I am like this person who goes everywhere and does all this stuff, but social media doesn't tell you everything. I was like deathly sick. I thought I was gonna die. I had you have an oximeter, so you put it on your finger, it tells you how much oxygen. And my oxygen never went below like 93%. But if it goes below 90, you're supposed to go to doctors. But I checked every second. It just mentally too. It's very scary. Nonstop thinking you're gonna die, or thinking you can't breathe, and like when's it gonna end type thing. So mentally, and then the dreams you have is crazy. It's no joke, man. Like
How long were you have it?
A month and a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so all of May, and then you get symptoms. Like my girl, her breathing's not the best because I smoke cannabis, and I feel I couldn't smoke anything for a long time. It helps me with my pain. I have a lot of pain every day.
Do you know
Yeah?
how you possibly could have gotten it?
I think from my groceries. I got Instacart a lot, and usually when I got Instacart or packages because I buy a lot Amazon, I usually take the boxes and put them immediately, or the bags of groceries, I put them immediately into the trash upstairs or the recycling. But the one time I didn't do that, I brought it down to my place, and usually I use my hands. I clean my hands immediately after that. And I think I didn't do, like, one time I messed up. And I think all it takes is one time of you messing up, either not having a mask on, being around someone who, doesn't know they're sick, asymptomatic person, or, you know what? Honestly, sometimes I feel like it was a freak thing that I just got it because I was extra careful, was extra scared to get it. And it just didn't matter. I just got it, and my girl rack our brain how we got it. I didn't go to any grocery stores.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, but
because they say the virus load, like on packages and whatnot, shouldn't be that high.
You would think.
My wife is pretty diligent about it because obviously we're getting stuff online, and we'll leave the package in the sun because UV light will kill it.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I feel like I would get stuff immediately. That's the thing. I got stuff immediately and I brought it down instead of like cleaning it off or like not. I feel that I messed up somewhere. in my
I don't think it transfers very like for example, let's say I buy this off of Amazon. You
Yes.
know, after you open the package from Amazon, you wash your hands, stuff like that. So you shouldn't, you're
I
not.
did it. I didn't though. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
I think I messed
yes.
up in one of my cleaning processes, and I was like busy. I was doing something else. I was rushing, and like I brought it down. I touched my face or something stupid.
And it must have been put there recently, like I mean, maybe from the driver or something
From the
like
driver,
that.
I think it was my
Yeah.
driver. One of my because I had multiple drivers come to my house for like food, like Grubhub or Postmates or Instacart or my water, like getting water, like any of these delivery people, and they're contacting so many people,
Yeah.
and they have to like my brother's a delivery guy. That's his income, so you have like almost like the food industry, like they don't let people who are sick stay home.
Yeah,
So
that's such bullshit. I
yeah, it's
mean,
crazy.
it's in many ways the people who make the least amount of money
Yeah,
have become the essential workers
yeah,
to
Right.
bring groceries to people who have these nice jobs, which they can work from home.
yeah. Which I was one of those guys, and I felt like, I mean, I luckily I'm a person where I'm my brother. Not luckily, but I am not far removed from everyday life. Like where I live at, I'm separated from LA almost, where I'm like
Yeah.
I live in Hollywood, and my brother lives in North like Van Nuys now, but he works like Lyft, he's doing delivery stuff for like Postmates also. So like I am connected to how the struggle is.
Oh, it's insane. Like I know Uber's now saying, "Oh, you have to wear a mask to get a ride," but I guarantee you, there are even Uber drivers. If somebody comes in the car and is one of those crazy people, I'm not going to wear a mask, just for the money, they'll take the ride.
Yes. So
And
yeah, that happens a lot probably.
yeah, and Uber gets to put the commercials up, going, "Hey, look, no mask, no ride." But we all know that's bullshit.
That's bull. Yeah, because you can't. There's not a camera in everyone's car.
No.
You can't watch
Right.
people.
Now,
All
do you
the,
still
all
have?
the Uber, well, all the Uber I've been in so far, all the
What?
Ubers that I've been in, they make sure that wear masks.
Well, that's good that they're enforcing it.
Yeah, and some actually got sanitizer.
You're breaking up a little bit on my
Hey,
end.
Tony,
Yeah, so, yeah,
you're breaking.
Your internet's
oh,
going.
yeah, I know.
Katie,
Y'all kind of got it because I'm like outside working. I'm telling you, like, that's what's going on. But yeah, what was I saying?
You're like auto tune.
Yep.
You need DJ
Well,
Alves.
I was saying that yeah, most Ubers and Lyfts, they all the Ubers and Lyfts
Hey Tony, it sounds really bad. Maybe log out and then log right back in, or turn your volume down. I can hear you. It's like you sound like Future or something like that, or like T-Pain. But
Actually, what Tony's experiencing is one of these problems with like doing, making all the kids go online, and we have fast internet, cable and this and that. But what's not fast is your upload speed, and when you don't have a fast upload speed, you get this sort of jittering.
That makes sense.
But Jeremiah, you said you still have your show on KDHR?
Yes, I've been traveling a lot, and
What was the
I
name
was
of
on
it?
his show.
what you say?
Oh.
My show is the Writer's Block.
Oh, when is it?
you used to follow me. It
you
was
said-
on Tuesdays, wasn't it?
Yes.
And you're still doing it. I'm trying to write it down so I can follow it. And also, Michelle, you were asking earlier, and then I shut off my mic, that I still do stuff on campus. I teach physics now at
Oh wow.
California State University, Dominguez Hills. So
Shut
I
up.
was,
That's awesome.
yeah, I came back after I graduated. I actually worked for the DoD for a while. That's what physicists do.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
That's cool.
before I got my real government job, I taught at a private high school because that's right when you graduate. That's probably the only thing you can do is like, well, I can teach. But then the department had an opening, and I came back. And now that I'm working from home anyways, I was like, yeah, I'll teach. So that's why I have this is my classroom
Oh,
chalkboard, and
Well, you guys know they want DJs to come back for KDHR. They want people to come back. So
well, I don't know if the new students will. When I had my show, they liked it, but from what I get from my little students, like they don't like college radio. It's like just play the crap which is on LA stations. But
that's stupid.
I know college radio is where you're supposed to find. Like I live in Irvine, I listen to KUCI all the time, and I find the greatest stuff there.
Yeah, the greatest. I just think maybe it's a short sample size of kids who are not. They come to college to learn about other mediums, and college radio is one of those mediums that is amazing.
And most students don't even know
Exactly.
radio station. So that's why I was asking about your show, because I always tell my students, I go, hey, we got a radio station. Come listen to it.
a lot of people don't even know that you have KDHR. They're like, what is that? What's
That's why I'm trying to advertise it.
That was my mission to advertise it when I was going to school.
Same here. When I was a student there.
Yeah, that was my mission to advertise KDHR when I was there.
Well,
Get out there.
changed though too, because it went from being in the library, like basement of the library, to being a prominent spot.
That's what's so fucked up about this COVID. I mean, you've seen the new studio. I mean, that's perfect. It's right there in the student union.
Awesome.
People can look in the window and see what's going on. It's nice equipment, and then all of a sudden, campus just went.
Yeah, it shut down.
And
really sad.
I really feel bad. Like I have a couple of incoming freshmen in one of my lower division classes, and it's like from when I went to Dominguez Hills to now, it's actually becoming more and more like one of those college campuses. I mean, I had students last semester where Dominguez Hills was their first choice, which means
awesome.
They want to get involved with what's going on campus and doing the whole college thing. Staying late at the student union, listening to the radio station parties, and now it's so sad. I mean, I couldn't imagine leaving home and having to go to a university, but really I can just stay at my parents' house because it's online.
Yeah, it's not the same experience.
No, because university is not just about going to class.
Yes.
I mean, they are online universities, which are decent, but for the young kids, it's like, you got your fraternities.
The rite of passage.
Yeah, exactly. You meet new people which you've never met before. Do a couple of stupid things, but hopefully, they're not fully life-changing events. And I mean, that's what it's supposed to be.
I agree with you 100%. And I'm interested to see what the post-COVID era, I guess you could say, almost like the post-9/11 era, or like the post-internet era, what it's going to look like for every aspect.
Yep. It's going to change everything. I mean, for my day job, I call it, I don't think I'll ever going to go back to the office again. We found that people are more productive working at home.
It makes sense.
And plus, it actually is it's good equalizer. Like my sister she's got a toddler, and she's working from home. And before they'd have to send it to daycare because, both her and her husband works. But now she can be equally as productive but still have her children at home.
That's awesome. I feel that's smart. Like other like Europe, they don't have the unbalanced work that we have, especially if you have kids. I mean, Liz, you know this. I mean, you have a baby and you work, and it must be difficult having to work plus like trying to find care sometimes, because they don't really give you daycare sometimes in America, or it's super expensive.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like over $1,000 sometimes.
It's absurd.
That's like a rent. That's like rent or car payment.
But now with COVID, like, if my daughter comes in the room, I can stop work and go take care of what she needs to do, and even spend some time on it because, I'm right here at home, and then I come back to my desk and I work.
I have a question. You're a physics teacher?
Yes.
So are you into astronomy too? at all?
Actually, that's how I got into physics. Ironically, that's how I
Awesome.
ended up at Cal State Dominguez Hills.
Awesome. I'm a big astronomer.
Really, actually,
Mhm.
that's the other thing. I don't know if you remember on campus, or we had the NSM building. It's got that big astronomy dome up top.
Yes.
And I actually got money from the NSF to set up a solar observatory there, where,
What?
yeah,
That's
it was awesome. And what we could do is we could actually pipe in the feed because, we'll use a CCD, and even we can do it at night. So students who take astronomy or physics we can actually give them live pictures of, I guess the universe. And
How amazing.
but
amazing.
then,
They need to advertise that too, man.
well, we were still working on it, and then
Okay.
COVID came and everything shut
Uh,
down.
Nick,
Like,
you and I need to talk so we could get that up and running for you.
well, I mean, we have everything. It's just,
COVID.
I mean, let me tell you the scuttlebutt which I hear as a faculty member at Dominguez Hills. We're going online next semester too. This
Oh,
entire
wow.
year is going to be online, and
Oh,
it's really disappointing. I mean, I was looking forward to moving into that new building,
yeah.
Right.
because I mean, I was so excited when I came back that because when I was there at Dominguez Hills, the our side of the campus, natural sciences and mathematics, wasn't that big.
Yeah, it
Most
wasn't
people
big.
were on the other side. But now we have people coming here specifically for like biochem, geology, earth science. I have like 5 pre-med students right now.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
I was like, and you came here? I mean, not to denigrate our school, but
No, I
there
understand.
used to be a time where you fill out an application and they're like, okay, come on in.
Yeah.
But that's not the case anymore.
It's
Well,
competitive.
I know November they're gonna have new elections and everything, and one of our professors at Cal State Dominguez is running for city council. So I don't know if you guys
Really?
know. Yeah, Charles Thomas. He's a professor.
I don't know him. But
Get to
Is it?
know him, Nick. Huh? Go ahead.
No. I'll wait. I'll wait till you're done.
Yeah, so he's running for city council because he wants to make Cal State Dominguez a little bit better and the city of Carson a little bit better.
yeah,
So
oh, we own all that land around the campus.
yeah,
That's so crazy.
Because we're building the new dorms, which is obviously to attract out-of-state students.
right.
But considering where Cal State Dominguez is, I mean, it's a safe area. I mean, actually, I sometimes lurk on the student message boards. They're like, "Oh, it's close to Compton. Is it dangerous?" Like, dude, we have so much crime at UCI. Dominguez Hills has nothing.
Nothing.
But there's no university community around it. Like here
Yeah.
in Irvine, there's the whole town is sort of centered around the university.
Yes.
So you can go off campus, there are bars, pubs, this,
Yeah.
that. And at Dominguez, you can't really walk anywhere just because, I mean, even just walking to the freaking Walmart, which is down where that Starbucks is, that's a
Yes.
Yeah,
trek.
It's so
yeah,
far. Yeah.
yeah.
I
I know
mean,
there was I know there's Dominguez, the city of Carson. They've been having some issues a lot lately. So
Yeah,
I don't know if you've heard of that, but yeah, it's been a lot of talk with Dominguez and city of Carson. So
yeah.
it
I think the university needs to throw their weight around because a university is going to bring
yep.
tax dollars into the city. I mean, even the city I live in, Irvine.
Absolutely.
Irvine was actually named after the university. UCI is not because of the city of Irvine. No,
no,
we built a city around the university and called it Irvine.
that's crazy.
Uh,
I did not know that.
Ah, that's
Well, a
awesome.
lot of local governments are gonna have some issues because of the tax. Like no one can really pay taxes and
yeah, and
pay for
plus,
services now. It's sad.
we had some really bad deals. Like what is that stadium called next to us?
Oh yeah, the Dignity I think now.
Dignity Hell. That's our
Oh,
stadium, and
Mhm.
we signed like I think it's like a 50-year contract, which
Crazy.
basically we don't get the money from it. I mean, it was such a bullshit contract.
No.
Um,
Stadiums
actually,
usually have that.
this is funny. When I had my radio show, I would have liked to tell all the students this stuff, but it's only when you become a faculty member do you learn this stuff. But speaking of the students, it's like I'm trying to get them involved in, like how are they going to have the associate student elections in the spring? Like, how are they going to
uh,
do that?
there's
ASI.
some
Who knows?
I've been reading it up. everything's gonna be like Zoom or whatever. You go to Toro Link. I don't know if you heard of Toro Link, Nick.
Yep.
Okay. So they do a lot of events there, virtual events as
Yeah,
well.
that's what I was just talking to my students today about that. That even once my students get settled in, that's like, we should have some, university style events because
Right.
we're gonna do Zoom parties. I make my students use Discord, and I mean it's
Okay.
awesome. I mean we can communicate all the time, and
Yeah,
still
Discord.
to give that sort of sense of community that you're connected to all the other students which go to this school.
That
Because
makes sense.
on Zoom,
Right.
it's like, okay, Michelle also goes to California State University, Dominguez Hills, but I don't see her passing in the hall or in my class. So we're all just sort of like in this, just
Little
I'm the
bubble.
only student here at the university. Yeah,
Yeah. I want to go back to astronomy.
sure.
I would love
I'm
to.
off the clock right now, though. I, I
Okay.
spent I spent 32 hours. No, that's okay. I'm just kidding. What's your
No,
question?
I was gonna say I would love if you come on my show, or we could do something once we find out May after this year. I know you said classes are gonna be online, but I'm in 2 astronomy groups out here, the Los Angeles Astronomical Society and
I know them. Yep.
and we like advocate for science and space, and especially as a physics teacher, like that's up my alley. I love, I'm a huge science guy, so like we have star
Mhm.
parties.
Yep.
And we have like huge telescopes that we bring out, and it'd be cool if we could have maybe an event sometime at night, like with at the science building
Yeah. No. I
outside.
that's the other thing I miss about COVID. Like I'm with the Orange County astronomers, and
Oh, okay, cool.
we did
All
have
right, I know
star
that.
parties, and the greatest thing was like we were in Boy Scouts or little kids, and
Yeah.
showing a 10-year-old Andromeda galaxy and
Yes.
explaining how far it is, and not only
Yes.
how far it is, how many civilizations live there, and you're
Mhm.
looking at it as it looked 2.2 million years ago.
Yeah, in the past, yeah. It's I I just had a thing at the LA Comic Con. It was a little maybe like last year, early last year, or early this year, last year, and I was teaching people about black holes,
Hmm.
and it's just interesting how the public doesn't understand astronomy or civics like they like that how things were taught before. There's like the
And
public.
they don't teach it really that much in school. I think we've gotten bogged down on like
Yes.
chemistry, this and that, and
Yeah.
physics even. But astronomy is actually the first one, a fundamental science, because after
Yeah.
we didn't have to worry about food every day, and we're able to like live in groups and become a hunter-gatherer species. What do you think the first thing we did? We looked up and said,
Yeah.
"What is that?"
Yeah.
And that
Exactly.
started this knowing what am I, what made us, who are we,
Yes.
and
I agree
studying
with you.
astronomy is it's almost like a religious or a philosophical journey.
Yes. I 100,000
Speaking speaking
too.
speaking of all of that too, I just heard like the government's actually now gonna, take cases like about UFOs and things like that and what else is out there. Like they're finally acknowledging it.
I've
Yeah.
heard
That's what I
that.
just heard right now.
I
What do you guys think about that?
they are civilizations. Just mathematically, we have it would just be
Yep.
it would be so improbable that we're the only one. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I feel we live in a probability universe, and I don't think human beings understand the scale of what the universe really is. And when you like look up in the sky, like there's this. It's not hidden, but when you go to the Griffith Observatory, you'll see
I love
Albert
that place.
Einstein. Oh, it's my one friend Gio, who helps runs the and Edwin, Dr. Krupp. They
Hmm.
run the Griffith. So if you ever guys want to have a private tour of the Griffith
Yes.
Observatory, just let me
Yeah.
know. I'll send
Yes.
you give me
Sooner the better.
students too, or whatever.
2 seconds.
But he puts Albert Einstein puts his finger up, and just by put his finger up to the sky, behind the sky is like hundreds of thousands of galaxies, and it's really crazy to think like even a grain of sand it could block out the sky. Behind that is like thousands of galaxies, and the scale of like time. Like when I tell people like me being taller than you, I experience time different than you, if or maybe
Yep.
you're on a mountain. And then like just what the scale like the scale of distances. So like what a light year is, the distance light can travel in a year. What one astronomical unit, like, or the distance from the sun to the earth, or like these small distances you think that we're close. Our universe is so stupid big. Like people don't understand what infinity is. So
That's
like,
why I don't
yes?
think aliens have visited us yet.
Oh no, the universe is so big.
Yep.
And it's expanding from what we know about the redshift, meaning that where light is going away from us. There's not a blue shift.
I'm
What?
sorry to laugh. I'm sorry to laugh. In
Yeah.
the 90s, I made my own little industrial band.
Yeah.
I was like 17.
That's
And
cool.
our name was Redshift. So
Oh, that's cool.
hear that, I'm like,
That's awesome.
we were really bad. But I actually posted some of our old recordings on YouTube. I'll put the link in.
Yeah, put the link in.
Anyways, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just had
No, it's cool. I get on these astronomy rants, but the redshift. So when the James Webb Telescope that's about to go up, we're going to be able to see farther into the past, and maybe when you look into space, you're looking at the past and the future, and everything's going away from us so fast, expanding so fast that we really don't really know, because in a couple 100 million years, billion years, when Andromeda comes through our galaxy, farther into the past. I feel like I hear reverb. To the space, you're looking at the past and the future.
Oh, somebody's probably got their speakers on or something.
Expanding so fast that we really I'm looking at a. Michelle, do you have us in like the preview?
It's Michelle. Michelle, you have your speakers on.
Yep, I got it off now.
Okay. Interesting fact is that like when Andromeda comes to intersect with the Milky Way galaxy, us, the spaces between all the mass and everything that's in Andromeda and everything in our Milky Way could pass right through each other and not even hit.
I read like the probability of it is like 2 flies in the Grand Canyon.
Oh yeah.
Colliding with each other.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that gives you an idea how big it is. And what I love about Andromeda, like if you go to, you can't do it in LA, but if you go to like Mount Palomar, in San Diego, it's actually cool. So what happens in San Diego is they always get this fog layer at night, and Mount Palomar sits above it, so it basically covers all of the night lighting. You can see Andromeda with your naked eye.
Oh wow! That's
now
beautiful.
It doesn't look like the pictures where it's all pretty. What it kind of looks like is like you see the points of light on the stars. Yeah, it's a little smudge.
Yeah.
Think about this. That light which you're seeing, those photons, traveled this void for 2.2 million years.
Okay.
And at that instant of time, they enter your eye, change it to a little electrical signal so you can see it.
You can see it.
I mean, it
boggles the mind.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like people tell me I sound like an evangelist. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like Carl Sagan, Bill Nye. I advocate for science and space because it's like magic. It is magic when you talk about these huge concepts of we have this cosmic radiation background where it's like all this heat and light, and it's hard to see past it. But maybe past it is like we might be next to another universe, expanding in almost like the bubble effect. But I could talk all day about astronomy with you as well. I feel like maybe we could do a show together sometime.
We should. Actually, that's what I love about physics, because or teaching.
This is amazing.
Because sometimes my wife's an engineer, and engineers just like to build stuff, and us as physicists, and so I bother her with it. She's like, Nick, just shut up. Now I get paid to do it, and those students have to sit there and listen to me. I love it. I was like, oh, this is easy. I can just go off on these tangents.
Yeah, you go on a tangent on astronomy. my basketball coach in high school was a physics teacher.
Oh,
So
nice.
he put a passion into me for science and astronomy and physics, especially because it's like the backbone of our universe. And it's
You
kind of
know,
crazy. I'm sorry.
this week was the first week of classes, so
Okay.
and I told all of my classes, in science we make two assumptions:
Right.
that the universe exists and it's knowable.
Mm,
And that's what's fascinating because since we live inside of the universe, we can't actually prove that it exists.
that's true.
Right.
And
Could
so,
be
like when you
simulation.
talk about multiverses and this and that, and like that's all philosophical. I mean, yeah, we can mathematically show stuff, but we have to just assume it exists. And the other assumption we make is that it's quantifiable.
Mm,
So the
yeah,
laws of mathematics exist the same no matter where in the universe you go.
true.
And
Constant.
yeah,
The Hubble constant.
because I'll always get a student in my class when we talk about the origins of the universe who will bring in some sort of terrestrial religion. And
Yes.
I mean, of course, I don't talk about religion in my class, but for many, it's difficult to talk about what the universe is without applying what they've learned at their churches, mosques, synagogues. And I let them know. I go, well, you know what? In some ways, we assume it exists. So, I mean, is that not a religion in itself?
True.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I
okay,
think that, I'm sorry.
no,
let me
go
ask
ahead.
you,
Go. Uh-huh.
do you have any students who have disabilities, and how do you handle that?
That's a great question. Actually, I just sent an email about that today because what they do is at the start of the semester, I'll get just basically a generic message from I forgot the name of the department which does this on campus. That
Special student programs, yeah.
yeah, and it'll give me the name, and then it'll just say basically a generic set of stuff like uh, they don't tell me what the disability is. And I got a couple of these, and I actually had to email them back and go, okay, what am I supposed to do? Like, you haven't actually given me any clear instructions. Like,
Well,
for example, if
maybe
they're hard of hearing, does that mean I have to close captioning on my Zoom meeting? And if so, how do I do that?
Yeah.
yeah. So
Um,
here's, I have they might want to do like a radio show at Kdhr, and some of the professors allowed me to take my test online at Kdhr, depending on what the topic was.
mhm.
So you might have some students who want to, say, oh, we have radio station, I can do that. Let me ask my professor Nick if he's allowing me to take the test at Kdhr online, and then the listeners could listen to that topic and say, hey, what's going on? That'd be,
That would be interesting. And that's why that's why I got confused how it applies to me because usually when I do give an exam, it's a hard exam, and I actually make it so hard that I just give them the whole weekend to do it.
Oh, okay.
And so there's really no room for special accommodations. It's I give them such a huge amount of time to do it that it doesn't matter. But with Zoom, it's kind of weird because I don't like to record my Zoom lectures. I
okay.
just don't feel comfortable doing that. And also because of that, I treat the lecture just as if we were on campus. Like
Right.
the class happens from 9 to 10:30. If you're not there from 9 to 10:30 to hear me ramble on about astronomy, then
Yeah.
you've missed the class.
Makes sense.
Uh, but with Zoom, they made it kind of weird. Like, okay, well, if a student is hard of hearing, you have to record it and then put closed captioning, which ironically I can do on YouTube. But then I got another message saying you can't post your lectures on YouTube. I'm like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? Um,
Is
so
there a way
actually,
you can go to? I'm sorry.
well, I was just gonna say, just today I sent an email back to that department which does for the disabled students, asking them, okay, what am I supposed to do? I mean, you haven't given me any real instructions. You just said I had a student which had some sort of need for some sort of extra accommodation. But if you don't tell me what the accommodation is, how can I possibly provide it?
Yeah.
Can you set up a thing with Toro TV? I don't know what the name. I know we have a TV studio. Can't you like record something, send it to them, have their maybe like kids who are trying to be interns or
Yeah,
something
and put it
they
together,
can
but
put
I,
something
I
together
don't.
for you?
Work involved, right? There's a lot
Yeah,
of
then you get into bureaucracy, and
Yeah.
it's but
Yeah.
that's why I've created, obviously the Zoom classes happen just with the schedule, but that's why I created the Discord page, because
Oh,
on
okay.
Discord they can meet with me at any time. So
Yeah.
like I'm not even posting the office hours this semester. It's like right now I answered like a couple of students' questions right now while we're having the Zoom meeting, and but at the same
This has
time I
never
think
happened before, too. Like you're just doing. This is
yeah,
it's
like
so new. This
it's
is,
all new. I mean,
yeah.
it's when we shut down on March 11th. I mean, some professors just freaked out because they had
Yeah.
no time to prepare. I mean, you have
Yeah.
all your lessons, and for some of them, they're old and tenured and this and that.
Yeah.
They've taught this class this way since the beginning of time, and now all of a sudden,
you
what
gotta
the hell
change
is
it.
Zoom?
You
I
have
don't
to
know
go
how to
on.
do that.
Yeah, go online. Yeah, it's a whole
Yeah.
like. I can't even imagine what you're going through.
What I think is going to happen, which I actually do support, is I think when we do open the campus, I think it's just going to be a foregone conclusion that even if I'm on campus, I'm going to have a camera in front of me on Zoom for those students who
Who can't come
can't
in?
can't attend,
Yeah.
which
They're at
I
high
think is awesome.
Do you think? Oh man, there's so many things that I feel are gonna change with this, especially with our education system,
Or
because
even
it's
our
not just
economy.
economy.
right.
I mean everything,
I mean,
economy, politics, healthcare,
this crisis
transportation,
has
everything.
shown how fragile our little
Yeah.
system is and
Yes.
how
I agree.
unequal it is.
I agree on all your points. Yes. And people
So,
now have time to actually sit back and like take a breath and like, wow, it's really not good for
no.
everybody. Like,
You know what's funny, Michelle? You guys might not know this. So, like, Reactor was my primary show. I started doing music when I first started at KDHR. I decided to have the only libertarian slash conservative talk show. And I called it the Pocket Litter Report. The whole purpose was to piss off everybody on campus because the campus is so liberal. Well, I want the
yes.
Yep.
students to think. So, um, we
You
would.
know, I was a libertarian before too. When I first got to KDHR.
What I'm thinking is maybe we should have more discussion about this topic. I think this is a good topic for the three of us and Liz to be a part of this topic, making more people aware of the new, I guess, norm of Cal State Dominguez and see how that goes.
Yeah.
And maybe we could do like maybe it's I don't know a series of different stuff that's happening throughout the campus and see how it goes. That's my take. What do you guys
It's
think?
where's Steven? He needs to be taking notes because I guess we're paying
Yeah.
him now to do this.
Oh, somebody just copied on. I don't have no idea who this is.
Oh, it's Dr. iPhone.
Yes, the iPhone.
Like that serious community or something like that. I feel
Yeah,
like
because I think so. Here's what's good. In the fall, we were really concerned about students returning to campus or even of the
Right.
new incoming freshmen, like whether we would meet enrollment quotas or not.
yes.
80% of at least the students in natural sciences came back.
Oh wow.
In fact, so many of them came back that, because we did predictions like, okay, so we reduced like the number of classes we offered. And right now we're adding them all back in. I mean, they pretty much all came back. And the university, even with the incoming freshmen, still got a larger load than they did last semester.
Right.
That's great to hear.
So it's
And
still moving forward.
Yeah.
right. I
It's
see
just
your
different.
post on Cal State Dominguez page all the time, saying, hey, check out my classes, we need
Hmm.
students. And they're like, what is this? So,
Yeah, and asking about financial aid. Did I get into the university or not? I mean, we have a really active online community, and really, I think it's the responsibility of ASI. I mean, as a faculty member, it kind of puts me in a weird place. Like when I was a student, I could complain about everything on KDHR and offend anybody I want. But now, as a faculty member, I'm like, ooh, okay. Um,
No, we understand. Like you're.
but I've always felt that, at least in my opinion, when I was a student and now even as a faculty member, that associated students seem sort of separated from the actual student body.
right.
Most students have no idea what they do or what their budget is or how they're designed to represent the student's
Them.
interests.
Yeah. there's a disconnect a lot of times when, I mean, you work in government too. Like, there's government programs that are for people,
Yeah.
and no one
Right.
knows about them. Same thing with college. There's all these clubs and programs that
Nobody
can
knows about them.
get
Yeah.
you into college, and not a lot of people know about them. And I feel KDHR's, I mean, Dominguez Hills is changing, like you said, into a college, you know, that
Yes.
we know of, but not like a commuter college where it's like people get off work, you go to
And come
school.
to school, and
Yeah, it's
Right.
they
more
don't
like
care about.
care about this, the
Yeah.
issues on the campus. There's dorms now, like they're getting more dorms. I mean, there's dorms, but people are more staying on the campus. It's becoming like you know,
And
college.
I think that's why ASI, in my not so humble opinion, really needs to engage with the students and
Yes.
become
Right.
what they're supposed to do. I mean, it's this
Yeah.
whole idea of shared governance. They represent the students' rights. I mean, let me tell you a funny story about the dorm. So, we have campus dining services, which I hate
Yeah.
because of all their
Yes.
stupid political power they have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so ridiculous that if I hold a meeting in the physics department and I bring Starbucks for everybody, they could file a grievance that I didn't ask for that first from them.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
absurd.
right.
And so we have these new dorms, which means students are going to be there for 24 hours a day. You're going to have students 24 hours a day. You need to have food 24 hours a day.
Yeah. That
And
makes
They
sense.
got the Taco Bell over there,
yeah,
that's
but it closes at a certain time. So we asked dining services, okay, put a kitchen in the dorms or put 24 hours store. Because we don't want to.
What?
And so then the university was going to contract out with another company which would provide food in the dorms for 24 hours. And
Right.
campus dining services,
They try to stop it.
yeah, they tried to stop it. It's like
Yeah, that makes
it's
sense.
stupid shit like this. which is gonna-
Bureaucracy.
yeah, bureaucracy and
Yeah.
crabs in a bucket trying to pull everybody down, and it ultimately hurts the students. And that's what Associated Students needs to be fighting for.
Yeah.
Going, no, the students who are in the dorm need 24 access to food,
Yeah.
entertainment. I mean, the student union should be open 24 hours a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to go play pool or a video game. Which,
Yeah.
speaking of which, though, I don't. Well, you've seen downstairs in the library, Jeremiah, but I don't know if Michelle you've seen. They put up like all these screens in these little cubicles, and every morning I see. Well, when I was going on campus, like students playing video games or
Yeah.
studying as a group.
They even have nap pods now or something.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I've been trying to get into one of those. I don't know who to ask. Everybody keeps giving me the runaround.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
office is student life.
I know that's where I went, and they're like, "Well, you're not a student," so I'm like, "Okay, come on."
Let me in.
But the fact is, when I was a student, it was a community college. You go to class, you go home.
Yeah. Yes.
Here, the student union is packed with students either playing video games or
Yeah.
studying at like
Yeah.
6:30 in the morning.
Wow.
That's a university.
Yes, that's the universe.
Down
I've
the
noticed
street,
that change.
Yeah, they opened up. Was it the movie theater over there? They've got was it Phillies? They've got biology over there, so
Mhm.
you don't have to go down to campus to eat there. You just come and go and there and come back. So they're trying to make South Bay Pavilion a little bit more convenient for the college students. So
But like in any organization, there being people who were in charge when the university wasn't like that, and everybody wants to have their say.
Yeah.
But the good news is, I mean, I look at it not what's going to happen 5 years from now, but like 20 years from now. I mean, it's going to be, it's going to look like UCLA.
Yes.
Students coming and going. I mean, those housing around there will probably be filled with like fraternities instead of families.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because the school has become sort of this, because of overcrowding, it's like, well, come to Dominguez Hills. So they kind of let a lot of people in. But we have great professors. We're doing. I mean, you'd be surprised if you saw some of the research which NSM is doing. I mean, do you know who we have a graduate science program? You can get a master's, and they go to like Nepal and all these places around the world. And we have actually some in the science community, like famous professors.
Well,
And,
I feel the science program in Dominguez Hills was, even when I was going, was underrated. Like, I forget the Professor Hill. I forget the guy's name.
Dr. Hill.
Dr. Hill.
He's the one who hired me.
Are you serious? Yeah, I had him on my show when we talked about science and space and about STEM, and I thought he was brilliant because I had this other scientist, Doctor I forget his name. He was doing something with black holes, and I wanted to have a physicist on there or someone who had a science. I'm sorry.
Dr. Gnazer?
No, Maldacena.
Oh, okay.
Juan Maldacena, I think his name was.
Yeah, I've never spoken with him. I when I was a student there, I saw his name around.
But no, the Juan Maldacena, he's from like Argentina, but Dr. Hill was, he's professor. I think his name was Hill.
Yeah, Dr. James
I would
Hill.
like Skype people in, and then I'd have someone in the studio to help me with the technical aspects of some of the science that I'm not versed in well.
Well, you're more than welcome to have me on the show. Actually, I've been on not I don't know how to describe this, but let's say KDHR is not actually over the airwaves. So I'll just say I've been on some AM talk shows, which are legitimate talk radio, as a scientific advisor. We did a show about, and this was actually a conservative radio station out in Tennessee about 9/11. And whether it was an inside job, and people were talking about the thermite, and I came there as a physicist to basically debunk all of this.
Debunk. It's like the thermite doesn't burn down the metal at a certain temperature and all this stuff.
Yeah, or steel doesn't melt at the temperature of jet fuel.
Jet fuel.
Yeah, but it bends.
And there's other stuff like I don't want to get into 9/11 stuff about like the Saudi Arabia.
Well, they all came from Saudi Arabia.
They all came from Saudi Arabia, and then another dude killed I'm a military guy. I was in Navy, so like I'm like Navy times and Army times. I'm always like looking at military stuff. And another guy killed some service people on base in I think Florida or Texas, and they were from
it was at Fort Hood, right?
Yeah, Fort Hood, I think.
Yep. No, the Saudi. That was in Florida.
That was in Florida and Pensacola, I think.
Yeah, it just recently happened.
Yeah, recently happened. And other stuff in Fort Hood's crazy spot. But, I don't know. I have weird stuff about 9/11, but I think that's everybody. I think everyone has some view of 9/11 and some capacity.
What's so fascinating? It's like, I'm going to assume for most of us here, we were alive when 9/11 happened. Yeah. And think about that statement. We were alive. I have students who were like this big when 9/11 happened. So to them, it's sort of the way when I was a kid and learned about the Vietnam War. I mean, even though it just happened like 6 years ago, for me, it's ancient history.
Abstract. We have no clue. But there's no tangible connection to it.
Except, we see our government leaders hanging out with basically a theocracy, which chops people's heads off, and not asking the hard questions. It's like, but all of the people who did 9/11 came from Saudi Arabia. How are they our friends in fighting terrorism?
And like Iraq was like, they were our friends back. Like all our friends turned into our enemies turned into our friends.
Well, it's complicated.
I mean, as a political scientist, you read history and you're just like, what?
Were you a poli-sci major?
Yes.
Okay, well, let me tell you.
I graduated Dominguez Hills.
Long ago, I was a poli-sci major before I became a physicist. Cool. That's why I love talking about this stuff.
It's the baseline of like civics. It's the baseline of a democracy. Like you should know how your government runs and how you can advocate and use it for your benefit and the people around you. I mean,
that's why, I try to stay out of all the politics. I keep, but it bothers me what I see going on right now. I mean,
yeah. I mean, but I'm gonna end it with this because I have to go. But I am cautiously optimistic, and I saw you sent me a friend request, and I put yes on that. But people don't realize like I'm 37, right? My parents are like 60, 70 years old. Mm-hmm. We are the generation where we grew up with an analog type of childhood, right? And then when we were getting older, the internet came, and then we were part of the internet age. So we had
Yeah.
analog childhood and digital like adulthood. We are bridging the gap. So like you said, the kids that are 9/11 kids, they were so small, and you're a teacher too, so you're bridging the gap and teaching these new kids about what happened in life before the internet, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like when we're about to inherit the largest transfer of wealth and basically power is going to be in the next like 3 to 5 years.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
My grandparents are. I only have one more grandparent, and my parents are really old, and we don't. We're getting older. We don't realize this in our head, like, oh, our parents are going to be gone soon, and we're going to be inheriting the earth. So I
Yep.
feel we have I'm in the positive that we have a great responsibility to usher this new post-COVID age of everything that's happening, everything we've gone through, 9/11, 2008, the recession. I mean,
Endless war on terrorism.
wars, like just madness everywhere. And we've come out, I feel, I guess, wiser from this. And hopefully when we take over, we're going to do what we see do what we need, excuse me, do what needs to be done based on what we experienced and what we've seen. I think we're going to have a better life, more time to ourselves,
I
to
agree.
like work on ourselves and with our families and friends, and not kill ourselves working. Because I feel like our parents' generation work to find them, and I feel like our interests and what we love and our families and friends is going to define us more coming after.
That's really funny that you say that. My dad said he actually stopped 4 years ago. He doesn't vote anymore.
Oh, wow, okay.
And he goes, because you know what? It's your generation and your kids which need to vote. Why should I decide what's going to happen with the nation?
Do you feel like there should be almost like when you get a driver's license and you get older and you can't drive it anymore?
You can't vote.
I
don't agree. I actually
you can't vote. Not that what you can't vote. We'll never take your vote away. But some people's, I'll say their cognition, like we have, Alzheimer's is a real thing. That I don't want to have like a poll tax, but we should see like not a test, but like I have to think more about.
I know what you're saying.
And we don't want crazy people.
Let me look in my Kdhr archives. I actually did a whole show about this where people got offended. Where it's like, maybe not everybody should be allowed to vote.
Yeah.
But then I gave them a civics lesson. It's like, that's why we're not a direct democracy.
We're not a direct democracy. Yeah, we're a public.
Well,
I used to be a conservative and libertarian person. I've evolved because the parties change. But in America, I don't like to get in politics, but right and left in America is totally different than a right and left in like a Spain or a Germany.
We've become insane. We have become insane. And that's what I think is going to happen in this election. It's that middle silent majority. And sure, the Republicans are scaring us. Oh, the radical left. But, we're also educated. And we see the Republican Party going down this really
they've changed
dark road. Yeah, I don't even know who they are anymore.
Yeah. They're used to, they're not the Eisenhower or even the George H. Herbert Walker Bush
or Abraham Lincoln
or Lincoln. I mean, any of them. It's changed a lot. So I just feel like this next election and election after that.
Well, clearly,
slightly positive. We're always slightly 51% positive, 49% negative. That's just the universe we live in.
Well, clearly, Jeremiah, there's a lot to talk about. So if you want to invite me on my show,
yeah, we'll do it. I'll message you.
Yeah. And that goes for everybody here.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. I really have to go. But next time, let's do this again.
Okay.
Yes, gotta do it again. We've got to get everybody on board this time. So hopefully next time, Steven on board.
That sounds perfect. Nice to talk to you guys.
Nice to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.